My friend Luca challenged me to walk to Pattaya. So I said, no chance, that's 130 kilometers away, and look at me. But then he said, if you did make the walk, I'll buy you a lap dance. So I'm currently on an epic 3-day hike across Thailand, and you guys are coming with me.
Hello everyone. So, for those who don't know me, that's me, that's Mango, and this is the stunning city of Bangkok. I'm pushing 40, overweight, and clearly not a runner, but I'd love to test if I have the mindset of one. So starting in Bangkok, I will attempt to walk 130 kilometers in 3 days to Pattaya. It's going to be me versus me. Well, versus dogs, floods, mosquitoes, heat, mud, barbed wire, electric cables, traffic, whatever the hell these things are, and even finding a bloody toilet. My preparation started by getting Mango out of my bag, replacing him with some camera gear, spare pants, and all my enthusiasm for walking and fitness. This is the Ekamai bus station, and for $5 I could arrive refreshed in Pattaya in just 2 hours. However, I'm going to be turning east and walking for about 3 days. God, it just sounds so stupid saying it, doesn't it? Oh, well, I'm awake, here goes. And so beginneth the 3-day journey. One thing I don't regret about the journey is this 6:15. Look at the sky, it's absolutely incredibly beautiful. And I can't believe how early it is and how many cars, how many people are out. I probably for the 3 days didn't have a single period of time where there wasn't a car passing me, which is, which is terrible really. But you can see how busy it is, super early in the morning, people are already selling stuff. I had to try to remember to take in the sights best that I could, try to remember this is an experience to see things, do things best that I can. So if I got a chance to pause and just take a quick 5-second breather, I would. To the actual extreme where I completely forgot that I had a coffee only 15 minutes before, because my normal habit is to get up and get one. So I bought a second one and drank that pretty quickly. And then, yeah, 2 pretty sugar-filled coffees in half an hour. I could start feeling quite a lot of energy, but also I felt a bit sick. So, yeah, I carried on walking, pushed through, stopping at every opportunity that I could find a toilet. I might as well try to use one. You never know when the next one's coming. Obviously super early in the morning, the sun hasn't even got that high up in the sky. I'm super excited. I'm trying to film absolutely everything, realizing that I'm not really walking very fast, which was definitely going to come back and bite me a little bit later on.
So I'm hoping you guys can hear me, but I'm about 1 hour in and I've so far done 3.84 kilometers, which is pretty fucking awful.
The plan for day 1 was to walk until it got dark, around 6 PM. I'd booked a decent looking Airbnb, but that was over 40 kilometers away, so I really needed to pick up the pace if I was going to achieve that. Instead, I ended up meeting a friend Wyan who lives in this area out for his morning walk. But what do 2 guys do if you randomly meet in the street in the morning and you've got no plans? Well, you guessed it, we went for a coffee. In fact, a really nice place just by his condo. I didn't get a coffee, I think I got some sort of banana coconut smoothie or whatever, but I've drank a lot of sugar at this point. And then I remember just staring at this clock, which was stopped clearly, but actually was the exact correct time, so that was strange. Wyan then showed me the rooftop of his condo, which, of course, other than the smog, what an amazing view when you can actually see. So it gave me the great opportunity to, hiss around with my camera again, wasting more time from the walk. But, it's totally worth stopping there. Great to have a chat with him and take whatever the hell these shots are called. I don't know, Little World or something. Quite fun. It's just nice to give a bit of perspective about what I was doing. Yeah, and then he gave me the most fantastic gift I've ever been given, a wet wipe, which was just perfect. And then I was back off on the road again, ready for the next stage of the journey. So yeah, thanks to Wyan. It's a great little stop.
Okay, so I've just made the turn from Samrong BTS, and now it's effectively just a straight line. Admittedly, the straight line is 28 kilometers, but I gotta try and be positive, haven't I? I don't know if anyone's noticed yet, but I've got ginger hair. And gingers, well, we're allergic to the sun. I'm gonna need to find some protection. And I have absolutely no idea where to get suntan lotion from. I need to cover my arms, cover my face, and ideally find something for my head.
I managed to spend about 15 minutes staring at this. I kept seeing the word Vaseline, which I'm pretty sure is bad for putting on to protect you from the sun, but then it also says SPF, which I'm assuming is good. So I took a guess and grabbed this. It was pretty cheap, 20 baht or something, and just covered myself up. And on the way out, I managed to find a solution to my hat problem too. Well, kinda.
The way I see it, I already look like an idiot. So wearing this hat isn't going to change things. And it's quite cool. I like it. I'm happy with it.
At this point, I'd walked for nearly 4 hours and the heat was absolutely killing me. I was unsure if the suntan lotion was working. I think I was beginning to crash from all the bloody sugar I'd had earlier in the morning, and the excitement for the walk had pretty much gone. So I decided to take a slightly longer break to energize myself. I put my trousers back on, needed to try and get my mind back in the game and get it off of this heat.
Right, yeah, so 7-Eleven number 6, or whatever this is, some sort of convenience store. It's just so hot. It's 35 degrees, super hot. Oh, and there's a car coming. That's it. Cheer up, Chris. Move on and have a great day. Right, here we go.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living.
Hands are really shaking now. They're really getting filled with blood and beginning to swell up. I think it's something that you can try at home. If you put your phone down or stand next to your laptop and put your hands flat down by your side here, and then just lightly move them forward and back for like 5 or 6 hours, then you'll find exactly the same result.
My hands shaking were soon to become the least of my worries, as even walking down a straight road is not without its issues here. I was coming down this side and I could see it was turning into a motorway entrance, so I took the bridge to cross, only to see the path in the distance there by that puddle look like motorway exits. It had become a human game of Frogger on blind motorway exits, a fun-filled game for the whole family, so highly recommended. Luckily, I am fantastic at Frogger, so I dodged a couple of cars, jumped a small fence, and even navigated what appeared to be 7 lanes of oncoming traffic towards me.
There we go, there we go. And then, yeah, people selling stuff on the side of the road. So if you're not supposed to be walking down a motorway, then why would they put some shops there? So, yeah, maybe it's fine. Ah, it's cool, huh? Well, my Fitbit's just chimed to let me know that I've done 20 kilometers. So there's only 21 kilometers to go left for today. And then, well, yeah, that's 1/3 of the overall journey. How do I make this sound more positive? Only 21 kilometers to go.
So to keep myself occupied, I played with my camera once again, found this really nice bridge just to chill at for a few minutes, tried to motivate myself, get a bit more energy back in, but that all came crashing down with the single crack of a piece of wood.
Have a look at this. I was just walking through the muddy patch here, and this branch, this twig snapped. My whole foot completely covered in mud. Absolutely unbelievable. And I've got hours to go.
So I pressed on, feeling ever increasingly tired, burnt, and I could feel the mud had soaked through to my toes. More stops for food and suntan lotion, and you may have noticed by now that I have a bit of a fetish for filming myself putting stuff in the bin. And this is why. Now, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Who am I to judge? I just want to make sure that I'm not part of the problem, and I had other bigger decisions on my mind. Should I walk half a kilometer to the next bridge, or should I try to use this zebra crossing, which in Thailand, I believe means absolutely nothing?
I'll take the bridge. So I've just hit 36.5 kilometers, 50,000 steps, about 10.5 hours. And the good news is, in 5 minutes, I get to finally turn off this street. Oh, happy days.
Finally, the end was in sight. Just 2 more turns past a really cool looking night market, which I had planned to venture out later on that night, but I could hear some distant thunder and I already had a sofa calling my name. One last bit of protein, which was a mosquito, one for the good guys, and I'd reached my Airbnb.
And we're in.
I'd accidentally booked this penthouse with 2 big double beds and a fantastic bathroom, so I wish I was staying longer, but the plan was to head out again at 6 AM the next day. Now I actually nearly fell asleep filming this bit sitting down before I realised that I still had these little spiky boys on my trousers and I had to clear up this massacre of mud. I had made it only 15 minutes before this massive storm hit, so that was great, but I had just no idea how hard day 2 was going to be. There was even more traffic, dogs, and my toes even began to fall apart on me.
2 hours sleep, 42 kilometers down. Haven't seen a foreigner in 6 hours. I think I beat the rainstorm by about 10 minutes. And yeah, staying in this lovely penthouse. Day 1, done.
Good morning and welcome back everyone to another exciting episode of Stupid Man Walks Down a Busy Motorway. A beautiful but super hot sun on the horizon. I checked out and I was treated to a nice breakfast that I hadn't realised I'd even ordered. I was keen to crack on as I had 5 kilometers more than yesterday to do and I had to get to my destination before it got dark. I'm dressed in black, have no lights, and I suck at motorway night frogger. Of course it's going to take a lot longer when I have to keep coming back for the bloody camera, but no one will hire me an assistant yet. Just to give you an idea of the route, I've now done 1/3 of the walk, and today I'll be heading from where that orange line had stopped towards Chonburi. Now usually at this early in the morning I am an absolute zombie. But as you can see, I am walking with a purpose. At 6:15 AM, there's only one thing on my mind. 7-Eleven coffee. I was still feeling pretty positive at this point. My toe was hurting a little bit, but I didn't know just how bad it was gonna get.
Both my little toes hurt, but I've had a good night's sleep. And for a guy that's over 100 kilograms to have walked this far, it's not too bad.
What a fantastic way to start a morning. Okay, I'm walking down a road and having to occasionally jump out the way of a car or two, but there's still something amazing to me doing something that very, very few foreigners have ever done. I mean, with good reason, of course, but still. I got to experience this little market on the side of the road. It would never be in a guidebook or TripAdvisor, so for that I'm very thankful. I come up alongside this temple. I thought it was really cool, very colourful. I was being careful to be respectful, not to try and film too much inside because I just don't know the rules. And then all of a sudden, this absolute legend pulls up alongside me.
So I'm walking down the road and I meet Sid.
Hello, good morning to everybody from Samut Prakan. Yeah, we just started a small company here. We will import like writing instruments and office supplies. So for now, the morning routine is to take care of pets.
Well, there you go. Survive. Well, thanks a lot, man. He offered me a lift, but I got to crack on. So that was Sid. I've been out here for maybe 24 hours. I haven't seen another foreigner. The guy was from India. He's got his business out here. I'll try and get some contact information and stick it down in the description if anybody wants to help him out. Yeah, nice guy.
I pushed on, well, so I thought, stopping only to film some of the most interesting sights and had myself a quick morning workout.
Time for another coffee.
Unfortunately, this very local and interesting street was coming to an end, and my arch enemy soon appeared, the bloody motorway. No walkable path this side, so I quickly had to cross over, but not before one last time taking in something that just about resembled a view. Now by this point I was getting pretty desperate for the toilet, a daily challenge for anybody with IBS. I knew I'd passed one the day before, but that was a kilometre in the wrong direction.
There's definitely a toilet up there, but the last thing I want to do is go back on myself, so then I go this way instead.
Back onto the burning motorway, I started to play with my camera again, extending it 3 meters above my head, taking extra special care not to kill myself by touching those cables, when suddenly I was completely shocked by what I saw ahead. I absolutely hate when YouTubers ask me to subscribe, but this is fantastic. I did hear of someone ordering 2 banners, so I did wonder where the other had gone. But this being Thailand, I found the answer to that question shortly after.
Well, that's a sad sight to see, using one of my banners. Oh well, I'm not in control of what people do with them.
A man on a mission, if the mission was to find a toilet. An unfortunate and slightly odd thing to see dead on an elevated part of this busy road. For now, I had my own constant dangers to my right, some unique sights to see on my left, but the sight that I was looking for the most finally appeared ahead, another bridge. This one had a nice little, what I'm assuming is a bus stop underneath, so even though I really did need the toilet, I also needed just 5 minutes to chill in the shadow. Before, of course, getting up, taking the stairs, pissing around with my camera some more, crossing over a super busy and hot highway, and onwards to my reward. A fluffy bonus reward was waiting for me at the door of 7-Eleven, and as us gingers have to stick together, I had no choice really but to grab him some food and a plate, of course we ain't dogs, and then I grabbed myself some food, sat down next to the cat, and saw who could eat our chickeny treats the fastest.
My little toe is really hurting. I think that's blisters. I'm walking directly past people who are working on the motorway, right? I'm just walking. I'm not going on holiday. So absolutely no complaints from me, and fair play to the Thai people making all of these massive infrastructures right across Thailand. Little cute cat. Clearly he's got some issue with his ear. I guess he's got fleas, so he's scratching it so much. But at least he managed to finish some food. He looks pretty fat, so, you know, I think people love cats here. They feed them very well. First snacks on board. Time to crack on.
My mind was still thinking about that poor cat's ear, and whilst trying not to electrocute myself, I was enjoying looking at the crazy sights on the side of the road. But the blister on my toe was making each step harder and harder.
My toe is absolutely on fire. I don't know what to do. But I am limping really badly, and we've still got half the journey left.
I wanted to blame the uneven paths, the brand of shoe, or perhaps it was even the shop who sold me them that was at fault. But then I thought back to exactly what happened when I purchased them. Excuse me, these are size 10. Do you have them size 11? Yes, sir, we have the correct size, but only in black or grey. A top tip if you're ever planning to walk 140 kilometers, don't wear a pair of shoes that are one size too small just because they're orange. Who knew? So, with only my terrible fashion sense to blame, there was only one thing left to do. Not that. It's time to quicken the pace by walking in a montage.
Free as a bird in the sky, that is what you are. Breathe and you know you're alive. Feel the beat of your heart. Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today.
You don't live for tomorrow. Live for today.
This rock just literally went past me at maybe 1,000,000 miles an hour, hit that wall. That's my biggest fear here. If this hits me from the side of the head from, just tip up from one of these cars, it's lights out, game over.
Now it's simply a case of bridges, walking and traffic. Bridges, walking and traffic. Bridges, walking and traffic. And then, of course, as you would expect, a pet shop on the side of the motorway. I was super intrigued to know what the hell this little guy was, but the owner was kind enough to get him, her or it, out of its cage for me. Then I had a look around. Of course, I really wanted to support his business, I just didn't have the need for a budgie at this point, so I got the next best thing.
Yeah. Hello, man. What's your name?
My name is X.
X.
You know, this is the crazy man. He walked from Bangkok to Pattaya. Very far.
This shit is dangerous, you know?
Very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
People don't do like this. No one do.
I'm English, I'm stupid. That's all. Bye. Thank you. Bye. People just brilliant. Some interaction with some human beings, so I'm really happy about that.
I won't lie, this was probably my 5th coffee of the day. I did go buy myself a healthy snack also. Again, noticing these spiky boys on my leg. I don't actually remember walking through any bushes. I guess I must have. But then I could enjoy my pineapple, which was the first piece of fruit for, well, ever. A slight annoyance to these walks of these dogs. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love dogs, but dogs in the middle of nowhere have a tendency to be just unpredictable and they roam in packs. But this situation was all good. And I was super happy because I could see a Tesco nearby and therefore a toilet, but of course, it was over another bridge. I got in there, managed to drop my scarf, no idea why I filmed that to be fair, and I did get to wonder why in practically every mall or supermarket the toilets are always next to the cash machines.
I guess so you can make a deposit and a withdrawal at the same time.
Terrible jokes aside, the light was giving out. I was limping pretty heavily by this point, but I was getting closer to my hotel. Found a little flag shop. Rest in peace, Your Majesty. The last 2 turns were pretty much the hardest, but it was great to see a 7-Eleven, so that was my evening meal sorted. My mind was focused on just making it at this point, as my toe was stabbing me at every single step.
I am hurting a lot. Pretty sure my toe has died, and I've managed to make it. 12 hours of walking. I do not want to look at my toe. Oh my God.
Onwards to the hotel, a cozy little pool which I doubt I would use. Quick peek out of the hallway window, and I was in. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to show you my toe. If you don't want to look, then start to look away now, and I'll let you know when it's done. Two pretty awful looking blisters, which keep in mind I had another day of walking the next day. You can look back again now. By the way, this is everything that I carry on me to make this type of video, plus a couple of spare t-shirts.
So what did we learn today? Dogs can be assholes. People are fantastic, and even the smallest things in life can often hurt the most. Words of wisdom from Will Walker. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to bed.
But first, a quick word from our sponsor. Do you avoid public transport because you hate large crowds and girls stand way too close? Well, I was the same, so I read this book on thermodynamics in one evening. I created a brand new product called Circle Space. Circle Space is made from a non-slip and of course brightly coloured material and couldn't be easier to use. Simply remove it from your bag, place it on the floor, and mount. At launch, it comes in orange, yellow, and, well, I'm going to keep the pink one. Comes in orange and yellow. This lightweight product goes wherever you go. No more people bumping into you walking upstairs. Strangers stay away when you're using it on an escalator. Everywhere you go, people will literally avoid you like the plague, so you can enjoy your coffee in peace. Let's take back your personal space. Circle Space, only $19.99. $99 a month. Hello everyone, and welcome back to day 3 of Ginger Man regretting his life choices. Super early in the morning, I can't actually remember having a foot massage, and well, now I'm swimming in the pool outside, and here I am being chased in the woods by an axe murderer. Oh, I remember now, I was dreaming. I'm not sure how I had any footage of that. For the sake of video continuity, and so you know where I am, I'm starting out today in Chonburi, and it's about 52 kilometers to Pattaya, to the hotel to meet Luca. Already super hot, my toes are hurting, and if you saw episode 2, you know why. Word of warning, they're gonna get a lot worse. So today is set to be a bit different. We're bored of motorways anyway, and now I'm in a busier city, there's plenty more things to do. Look like there's 2 cool viewpoints ahead of me, so I wanted to take the time to enjoy my coffee before taking a brief 1-hour detour in the burning heat to show you guys something that I don't think you've ever seen on this channel before.
This is just an incredible view. Unbelievable. Totally worth coming here. Have a look at this.
Okay, it's a bridge, but this bridge is on water and therefore way better than all of the other bridges. I'm glad you agree with me.
I think this was totally worth seeing just for the sunburn. So this bridge just connects, goes right through Chonburi. You can see that people are cycling on it, running on it, and obviously it's a motorway. It's brilliant.
Stupid jokes aside, I pressed on and saw this really awesome, I'm assuming it's some sort of sign. Once again, I found another ginger cat. I'm not quite sure how I keep bumping into them, not that I'm complaining. As this one had a collar, I didn't want to feed it, so I did leave some food for the owner. Instead, I fed myself, said goodbye to the cat, and then carried on with my search to try and find some place with aircon. Certainly some suntan lotion. My shoulders were really burning by this point. It was about 9 AM and the sun was just beating down on me. But luckily, according to Google Maps, there was something nearby that should help.
So I was just in Big C and I went to the fan section and I just stood there and I'm pretty sure I just timed out for about 5 minutes. So then I bought myself a drink, and whilst I stood in the queue, I could actually smell myself and I stink. So I had to go back in and I just got myself a new t-shirt. Oh. Yeah.
My camera's image stabilization doesn't do justice of how badly I was limping by this point, especially on the unstable ground from all this construction everywhere. The blisters on my toes were competing with the rays of the sun, so it was like being attacked at both ends constantly.
I think I'm going a bit mad. This is absolute torturous at the moment. It's just once again, me, the sun, cars, same, but the same.
I've always seen people working outside in tons of clothing and I just wondered how they did it. I'd already ruined 2 t-shirts in 5 hours by this point. The more clothes I started to put on, surprisingly, the cooler I became. I'm starting to think that I skipped the section on motorways when I read that book on thermodynamics.
From a sleeveless vest and shorts to wearing pretty much covering up absolutely everything. Oh, the sun is absolutely destroying me. 30,000 steps in. My feet hurt, my toes hurt, my brain hurts, shoulders. My spirits are still high. Being able to do something that I don't think anybody's ever done before. Wow, how many people can be this stupid? We crack on one more time. One last push into Pattaya.
Time and time I think about the day
pace has dropped quite considerably now. My heart's in it, my head's in it, my body is something else. I'm feeling low, I'm feeling down, but then I thought, well, there is one thing that could cheer me up.
Well, I was wrong. There were certainly a few more things coming that was going to cheer me up. I loved walking through these little interesting side roads, seeing the houses of green, orange and yellow, but it was the moment that I stepped on the red path when all my worries and pain seemed to vanish. Now at this point, I'd walked exactly 140 kilometers in 3 days and I was still 15 kilometers away from Pattaya. I'm not sure how I cocked up the math. I probably walked 10k just around toilets and 7-Elevens alone. I just about had the strength left to play with the camera a few more times before finding a spot right at the end of this lovely pier and relaxing for 30 minutes.
Other than a 7-Eleven, can you find a more beautiful place to say something? There is no real words to say here. Just going to enjoy it. Enjoy the moment.
After taking these 30 minutes to myself, I couldn't think of a better ending to my day and to this mini-series. Between here and the Pattaya sign, there was nothing much of significance to see, and with my memory cards full, my batteries dying, and my toes practically falling off, I got just inside Pattaya and I did take a taxi 10 minutes to the end. I'd achieved what I'd set out to do. It's not my fault Luca couldn't pick a hotel where I asked him to. And so before I show you one last time the absolute mess that are now my toes, here's a special reenactment of when I did meet up with Luca. Cue the music.
How's it going, mate? Yeah, not bad.
So this is actually my hotel in Pattaya. It gives me just one last chance to say thank you very much. And don't worry, there's a lot more coming. I'm already in production of 4 new videos, all equally as stupid as this. So numbers, after this walk I had lost 6 toenails, it's taken me 60 hours to edit, and there's over 700 individual clips. The dogs, the heat, the cost of the hotels. But don't forget, I did save $4 on the minivan. At the end of the day, I got to do something that not many people had the chance or the time to do. Some lovely 7-Eleven food, played with some cats, and met some awesome people. So in all honesty, if someone said, would you like to walk from Bangkok to Pattaya again? I'd probably say no.